Trudie Mason sitting in for Aaron Rand. And I take you back just a couple of months when we were all talking about this series of arson attacks on businesses. It looked as though they were gang-related, related to extortion rings or shakedown rings. And then we had that terrible fire where a cafe, a first-floor cafe, was targeted by a firebomb. The flames spread upward into a hostel, and a woman, a tourist from France, and her young daughter were killed. And since then, that kind of crime seems to have dropped off the radar. Here to help us understand what has been going on, we welcome Inspector David Shane with the Montreal Police Force. Inspector Shane, good morning. Or good afternoon, rather.
Oh, good afternoon.
Have we seen a lull, or is this just our impression?
No, it is. I can confirm to you that since that tragic fire that cost the life to the French tourist and her daughter, there were no other extortion-type arson targeting businesses. So it is actually there was I think there's a huge message that came out of all this. And I think the criminal elements don't like to have all the spotlight on them. There were intensified police activity as well following that. And I think it's it's a good sign that they got the message.
Tell us about the arrests that were made. Just remind us of the arrests after October 4th.
Well, the most important one was the two arrests that we made a week after that arson. So I think it's almost unheard of the way that our personnel were effective in identifying, locating, and arresting the two suspects that were responsible for the murder of the French tourist and her daughter. And I think that already sent a huge message. And following that event, we made a decision to have all those types of incidents coordinated by our organized crime section. And we conducted a press conference on 10th of October where we sent a very strong message to any criminal involved in this type of activity that we were on them. And we also sent an important message to all business owners that if they were victims or targeted by these types of threats or extortion rings, that they should not give in to it, and they should contact us quickly, and we will be standing by to help them sort it out and decide together the way we were going to face this problem. And since then, there were no other events.
Do you think that some of these rival street gangs that were jockeying for territory, because they were trying to expand their territory as they expanded their extortion rings, do you think they've called a truce now?
I can't answer to that specific question, but I can say that I think they realized that they were in over their head, and I think that those criminals they realized how extremely grave the consequences can be, and they realized that they had all the spotlights and the police attention on them, and they know that when this happens, one mistake can be fatal for them and they can get arrested. So that's the way we see it at the moment.
Tell us the latest on the Emile Benamour angle, that building that was targeted on the 4th that led to the death of the French tourist and her daughter was owned by him. And of course, that terrible old Montreal fire with a much higher death toll also belonged to him. So that's two of his buildings that have been targeted. His office has been shot up. His car was set on fire in his driveway. Is he under police protection right now?
Well, I can't answer specific questions on these investigations because we need to not hinder them and to protect all the different investigative techniques. But I understand that people listening in can feel unsafe about all this. But what I can tell you is that all the police resources that are necessary to solve these cases are on it. We've made arrests. I just mentioned the two. There was also other arrests that were made in October following gunshots on the lawyer's office that you mentioned. There were 3 people arrested for that. There was also 2 other people that were arrested following you remember that there was a person that came into a restaurant and broke a lot of stuff with a hammer, and there was extortion going on against the owner, and we made arrests. So the whole law, when you put them all in all, I think it sent a big message in the criminal element.
I'm just struggling to understand Emile Benamour's kind of position in all this. Is he a victim of an extortion attempt, or is there something else going on here?
Well, unfortunately, I cannot talk to that. I cannot give details that preclude to a specific victim, person, or a specific investigation, not to hinder it, unfortunately. But all the hypotheses are on the table, and our investigators are working hard to solve all these cases.
Can the Montreal police force keep up the scrutiny and the pressure on these gangs long enough to make sure this is tamped down for a good long while, this type of criminal activity? Do you have adequate manpower to do that?
Well, I would say we do, but you know that we don't work alone. So maintaining public safety is a partnered endeavor, and so and extortion is not a new criminal phenomenon. It's been that type of phenomenon has been gone on for ages, even before before what we see now. There's always been this type of activity. When I started in the police force about 29 years ago, we were investigating this type of events. So it goes up, it goes down. We intensify police activity, and we're able to qualm it. But I think the key to resolving these types of cases is the cooperation of the public. So the first and foremost, if there's any business owner listening to our conversation today, I would say if you're a victim of extortion, you need not to give in to it, and you need to call us, because that's the only way we'll be able to know and give you a hand and help you through this. And we will respect your wishes. You won't lose control of the process. We're not going to decide to make arrests and moves if you're not willing, and we will look at the situation and find ways to make it stop. But the first and foremost, we need to know it. And if anybody is a witness to these events, sometimes you have employees of different businesses. They know about this. Well, they can call us. They can contact the local police station, or they can call InfoCrim, 514-393-1133.
Inspector Shane, that's very interesting that you're promising business owners that you won't proceed without the go-ahead of the business, because I'm just trying to put myself in the shoes of the business person who's had a visit from some people who want money and are threatening, and maybe not just threatening me, but maybe threatening my staff or threatening my family. It must be very, very scary. So,
of course,
yeah, that approach of not proceeding without the go-ahead from the business owner, is that producing results? Are you getting people coming forward now more willingly to talk about being victims?
Well, the thing is, we have a specialty in working on organized crime at the Montreal Police. We have very experienced police officers, and it's the way we manage our cases all the time. Now, we wanted to get that message out so that people, you're right, they do feel terrified. And we understand it, and that's why we're giving this message. Yes, I think it is more effective because some people are afraid that if they call the police, then they'll lose control, and then it's done, and they don't know how it's going to go.
It might be worse.
Yeah, it might be worse. But once they come forward, we can analyze what's going on. We can see what's possible. Sometimes somebody can come forward, and maybe we won't be able to build a case to what they said, and maybe we will. And we'll see what's going on, and we'll give them advice, and we'll make the best decision for them. It's the same in different types of crimes. And in this one, we're here to protect the victims. We're here to protect the public, and people need to think about, yes, they need to think about them and their employees, but they also need to think that if we don't stop these people, they're going to make more victims.
Inspector David Shane, thanks very much for the interview.
It's my pleasure.